Yeah.
Good evening, fight fans. Welcome to another episode of T.U.F.F Sports TV. I'm your host, Jack Fletcher, and I'm delighted to welcome on this evening, across the pond in Texas, Mr. Roberto Garcia. Roberto, how are you today?
I'm good, man. Just busy life. You know how it is. You got to work hard in life, and we like it over here. I said we like the good life, so that's a lot of work, and we like steak and shrimp.
So it's really crazy times at the minute in the world. Obviously, the lockdown came into effect a few months back for a long period of time, sort of 14 weeks. You know, all the gyms were closed. In terms of your sort of training regime, sort of day to day, week to week, how did you cope? How did you cope on lockdown, Roberto?
Well, when it first, now it kind of somewhat feels kind of like the new normal and shit, I would say. But at first, it kind of was different, man. Like we took our foot off the gas. But one thing that did help me during this damn pandemic was I have a gym here in my house, and then I have my own gym. So I had that luxury of working out at my own times with me and my guys like Rolando Caspar Vargas, and we got some. I stayed busy, and I just didn't do no sparring because of the COVID things like that. And but just speaking, just waiting around, and the part that it hurt boxing, it hurt everything. It even hurt the business somewhat, and the school and all that stuff. Just it was just a big different thing to us that we had to adjust to this new lifestyle.
Am I right in thinking that your last competitive fight was in 2018? It was a knockout against Marquez Solano. But you've had a couple of years out, but you've still obviously got that fire in your belly by the sounds of it, Roberto.
Yeah, man. It's just I understand, man. The work ethic and the passion and love I have for this shit. People that know me well, that really know me, um, they're like, "Damn, Rob, I don't know where you get this guy said something to me about 2 months ago here. I don't know him personally, but he knows who I am, and he said, you know what? I gotta say one thing about you, Rob, is that you fucking you're like a champion that trains like a challenger. You're like a fucking veteran, trains like a prospect, man. And it's just I admired that coming from someone that I really don't talk to, so I knew it was real, and I appreciate that. And it is true, man. I have not lost any hunger or love for this sport, man. The passion is there like crazy. I love it, man. I need this. I live and breathe boxing all the time. I love it with all my heart, man. I cannot wait to get back in there, to be honest with you.
You've had an amazing career. I'm pretty sure from my memory as well that you spent some time with Freddie Roach quite a few years ago. How was that experience?
It was fun, man. I actually went there when I first went there. I knew exactly who he was. He didn't know who I was, and nobody else did neither. At first, we went there, and I just went in, just with what I was wearing, the pair of gloves on, whatever, and I was just being myself, and I uh, I made a name for myself in that place, man. With all his fighters and other fighters that came from other gyms, they would come spar there, and little by little, I just started seeing some, respect and talks and all kinds of things, and just be myself, man. Just and it got me around in life. To this day, it's still it it takes care of us, man. I'm using my talent. I'm not gonna say I'm perfect. I've had some mistakes, like I'm human being, the only mistakes I would say I had is that not being able to make a weight class a few years back. I was trying to squeeze down to a weight class that I outgrew since I was a teenager. But I came back home. I regrouped. I really regrouped myself. Came back and I fucking bounced back. 2 years later, I became world champ, man. Yeah.
Am I right in thinking that fight was due to take place against Errol Spence Jr.?
Yeah. Yeah. That was like 5 years ago. And believe me,
Wow.
I would love that fight. The Spence wasn't the problem. That's not the problem. Never was. It is. That's never been the problem. I'm the yes man. I fight whoever they put me with. I've never picked and choose any of my
You still there, Roberto?
man. You could just Google my name or box right up, and I have an old saying. You got
I'm still, yeah, we've got a little bit of a slight connection problem, but it's not an issue. So with the Errol Spence Jr. fight that didn't take place, is that something that kind
yeah.
of haunts you a little bit? You feel like it's unfinished business, so you want to get back on the horse, get back into the ring, and it sounds like you've still got a lot to offer in the world of boxing.
Yeah, man. Believe me, I actually had even spoken to him about some sparring. He replied to me. I said, "Yeah, let's work, man. Whatever. Something happened 5 years ago. But I mean, mistakes happen all the time. Don't people think, but that's fine. I'm not gonna force anybody to do anything. I don't have to. If he doesn't want to do anything, that's fine with me. I'm not calling him out by any means. I'm just saying I'm a real fighter, man. I fight. I'm a real fighter. I'm an honest fighter, and I fight. I come from a different kind of mentality, so to speak. Like my mentality is, I come from the era. I love the old school, man. And it is, man. I'm the young vet. You know, I I uh I fight, man, and I like the big fights. And I don't call people out and talk shit. I'm just a very honest person. I'm a true boxing head, and I say what I feel. I'm honest. I'm real. I don't sugarcoat anything. I just speak the truth.
Going back for as long as you can remember from your earliest memory, what inspired you to want to lace up the gloves in the first place? What's the background and the story behind Roberto Garcia taking boxing?
Uh, back in I was a little boy. My father.
Just going to come out and come in again, Roberto, because we've got a bit of a back connection. Yeah. You still there, Roberto?
Good. Uh,
Just, just going to come back and come in again, Roberto. Just bear with me for 1 second. Back again.
yeah.
So your earliest memory from boxing, Roberto, from what you can remember from your mindset and memory, what was it?
My father, as a little kid, I always remember him. He always had boxing on TV. It was like the news for him. He always had it on, and I remember seeing it in the background all the time. And he even had a gym in our house, like I do now, even myself. And he just loved it, man. He loved it with all his heart. He had posters everywhere, and I always remember this Roberto Duran, which is my favorite fighter of all times. Roberto Duran is my favorite fighter, and I always remember he had the same name as me, Roberto. So I just loved that, and he would have been so. He gave me my nickname of La Menace, the Menace, and, which is awesome because my father invented that, the Menace. There's a couple other ones now, but they're not the OGs. They're not the original, man.
So let's just move on to tough boxing. You've had quite a bit of communication with our president, Simon Whittle, over the course of the last sort of 10 weeks. So do you just want to talk to me a little bit about that?
Yeah, I really really like the way we talk. I like his ideas. I like his whole behavior and attitude when we speak, man. I have a very good feeling about him, man. You get feelings from people you speak to, and I have a really good feeling and a good look at Side Window, and I really really I'm fucking excited, man. This is exactly what I needed, man. After all the shit I've been through, man, and I mean he couldn't have come at a better time. They say God works in mysterious ways. Simon Whittle.
You look focused. You look on form in the camp, in the gym, working hard day to day. I mean, where can you see yourself realistically being sort of 6 to 12 months down the line, Roberto, from your point of view?
Really, man, I really see myself. Um, I really want to get in as soon as we get the damn green light to get in the ring this year, man. I would like to get one in. I actually had one already set in April. Then a week later, Corona happened. So fuck, we had to set the rest of the year for all of us, all of boxing, really. I'm like, we're just all kind of like, shit, man. This really hit a lot of fighters. and but it's all right, man. I think I staying in the gym keeps me sane, and just speaking with my managers and then meeting guys like through this pandemic and everything, this corona. One good thing that came out of this, a lot of good things came out of this experience is that made me regroup and things of everything. And a lot of shit, man, made me focus on things because life is just too fast all over the place. It made me really sit down at home with my children and spend a lot of quality time with the important people in my life. And out of all that, man, I met Simon Whittle. The guy. I gotta say, man, that I like the guy, man. He very legit person. I've known him for a little bit, but we speak. you know, cool guy. I really like him, man. I cannot wait, to work with him, man. I cannot wait.
We had our first tough event at the O2 Victoria Warehouse in Manchester on the 5th of September.
Yeah,
What's your point of view on the first show that we did?
that was cool. I saw that it was the first show, and then, I mean, what promoter can honestly say that I became a promoter during Corona? That's Simon Will, the first guy. No one starts like that. He did. You know what I mean? He did. He started like that. He go, yeah. I started promoting when Corona was at there. No one else can say that. He said he can say he started like that. So that's cool. I respect that, man. The guy wants to work hard, man. I like that.
Yeah, he's
Mm,
a great guy and a great president as well.
mm,
When you get back into the ring again,
mm.
Roberto, are you going to go in at welterweight or are you going to go in at light middleweight?
No, 54, 47. I mean, like, I was fighting 147 pounds since I was 19 years old, man. And I would make it, yeah. But I mean, people don't realize, they see you on television, they just see me on ESPN or Spike TV or whatever, but you don't realize what happens all the days before that time you watch me on television. And man, people have no fucking idea the things I would do to make 147 pounds. That shit was crazy, man. I'm serious. The weigh-in day, that day was a fucking day people remember. It was recording videos and shit. I did some crazy shit, man. Even some of the guys in my team, they're like, "Damn, Roberto, you even fool me sometimes, man." I was really killing myself to make that weight class, and I did it. And I was fighting hard fights on ESPN doing it. Big punches. I didn't really have, little pushover fights. There's an old saying that I truly believe in. They say, "Tell me who you fought, and I'll tell you who you are." And I really believe that, you know. And I mean, it's like hard fights. Your mistakes in life are your best teachers. And I think that I've learned from that. I said, I'm not gonna make this weight class anymore. I kept trying to squeeze down to 47. I kept trying to. I kept trying to. It cost me the fight with fucking Earl Spence, man. I was like, damn, I could. That was 5 years ago. I'm not gonna try to make 47 again. I said, oh. What I did after that, 5 years ago, I said, all right. They said Roberto Garcia is done. Okay, that's cool. I didn't say anything. I came home. I regrouped, and everybody said I was done. 2 years later, I'm crowned WBC middleweight silver champ. Boom, pulled an upset. I just blasted a kid that's 11 years younger than me. I destroyed him in his hometown. And what better way to prove yourself than proving it like that, man?
I think it would have been a magnificent fight, you versus Errol Spence Jr.
Yeah,
Hypothetically, if it did go ahead, I mean, how would the fight panned out in your point of view?
that would be sick, man. I know, of course, the boxer was gonna be like, oh, Spence, I get it, because he's on Star, TV Star, and all that. Yeah, I mean, theoretically, that makes sense, man. But believe me, man, there's a lot of fighters out there that don't get, shown on TV as much like that, or get. That doesn't mean dick when you get in there, because when the bell rings, the fight starts for both of us, and anything can happen, man. Especially when you have sometimes, man, some guys hungrier than the other, man. You never know what can happen. That's why I love this sport, man.
You,
Hmm.
you've had many fights. I think you've had around 48 fights altogether, Roberto. In your
Hmm.
whole career, from
Hmm.
your point of view, what would you say has been your highlight so far?
So far, uh, there's a lot of fucking. It's like a roller coaster, man. It is a fucking ride. I love it. It's up and down. There's some big highs and some lows and highs. And shit, man, winning the world strap was one. Uh, Taking it to my parents' grave. I promised her. I have it inside, man. It's a beautiful green belt. It's right in the suitcase. I love it, man. It's the best belt I got. Better than Gucci. And It's awesome. It's beautiful, man. It is. I have and also just putting upsets, and the reason it feels so good because all the good shit I've done, even to this day, man, it's always been said, you're not gonna do this. It's always like, whoa. I made a career of putting upsets and doing things that aren't supposed to happen, and I like that shit, man. It's pretty badass, which is why it makes it interesting, man. I like doing things that are. It's like writing a story, man. It's fucking awesome, man. Like the modern day Cinderella man, whatever, you know.
Winning the world title, just talk me through the emotions that you felt when you had that belt wrapped around your waist.
Man, I remember. You know what? When we fought for that, when we were in the airport, we are flying to Mexico, and with all of us, we were so fucking happy. And we didn't say it though, but after the fight, we did say it. We were all in a good fucking mood, making way to everything. We're so fucking. We were very They were like freaking out. Everybody, even Chavez and the father, they were like, "Man, you guys are real confident." And Chavez was cocky though. I was confident. It's a difference. And I remember after we won that night, we didn't even sleep, man. We stayed up all night in Mexico. We had steaks all over the table. Even the Chavez mother came to us and hugged us. They didn't want her to. She came to us and talked to us. And we fucking watched. We're watching the replay at the hotel, and we said, "You know what, man?" I go, "Bro, you know what? Can I say something?" They're like, "Yeah." I said, "I knew we were gonna win." They're like, yeah, and they all said to say, right? I knew we were gonna fucking win. I knew it, man. We knew it. There was a little autistic boy the night of the fight, the day before fight. We were having our second meal before we head to the arena, and a little boy, a man passed by us, and he comes back. We're over here. We don't even know this man in Mexico, and he comes. He goes, "Hey, Chen, how you doing?" He goes, "Hey, listen, I want to tell you something." I said, "What's up, sir?" And he says, "I have a son. He's autistic, but my son has a gift." And I said, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Nobody believes me. My son has a gift." He goes, "He always knows." He tells me, "Dad, that guy's gonna win." I said, "What?" And he goes, "Yeah." He goes, "You don't believe me, but you're gonna remember me tonight." He's done baseball games, all this shit. The little boy came over, and the man said, "I'm gonna go buy some tickets right out the front desk because my son told me that." And that
Wow.
night when we won, that fucking night we won. The man gets in the ring somehow. I don't know how he went through the security. He gets in the ring. He goes, "You see what I told you?" I was like, "Shit, man." That little boy was there, the autistic boy, and he said we were gonna win the world title. Man, we fucking won. It was amazing, man. We flew back home. That was supposed to be in Mexico, but it was here in Texas in my living room, and it's fucking beautiful, man. And I just love it, man. You know what? After we win that title, I'm ranked in my third weight class, fucking number 5 in the world. I've been ranked top 5 in 3 different weight classes, man, and all of them against tough opposition. And it's like I was happy. And I was supposed to fight Triple G. I mean, literally. I mean, by the rules, the way they work. And they called Abel Sanchez trainer, and he didn't have an opponent because Canelo couldn't fight that time. And that the only other Mexican in the division that was ranked was me, and it was on a Mexican holiday. And everybody was like, "Hey, they fight Roberto Garcia, man. He's the silver champ, and he's the other Mexican. Only him and Canelo in the division." And he said, "Nah, man." They went ahead and picked another guy that hadn't fought in 2.5 years, and he's not even Mexican. He was Armenian, and he fought him on a Mexican holiday.
I'm guessing
So
that is a fight that you really wanted as well. You really wanted to test yourself against Triple G.
yeah, yeah, man. Like that's the thing. Like again, like I'm not asking for easy fights here. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to fight, man. I mean, I prove I win. I had to. I win and upset my world title to get a fight, and they still, you know what I mean? Like, but even like that, I don't give up, man. I never ever give up, man. I go down, I get up, I keep going, man. I mean, even when I fought Martin Murray, I fought him on the 17 days. I was in the ring. I was here, right here, and I was in London, and 17 days later in the ring at the O2. From here to that, in 17 days. I didn't even have a training camp, and I went to fight him over there on 17 days, man. I defended my world strap, 12 rounds, and it wasn't even hard, to be honest with you. I fought Martin Murray. I had no sparring. We had no sparring, but it was such a huge opportunity. I said, I'm not gonna turn that the fight like that. Fuck no, this is wrong. So we did it, and I don't really. It wasn't a hard fight with Murray. It really wasn't, man. It was. I'm proud of myself that we threw down. I busted his ear. He went to the hospital. I perforated his eardrum. I had nothing bad to say about the guy, but we fought, and I feel I did the best. We came out clean. It was a nice trip to London, man. It was awesome, you know.
Roberto,
Uh,
so effectively, if you would have had a full training camp against Martin Murray, you would have won that fight.
I believe so. We believe so. I mean, what do you think? I mean, just theoretically, if you have a fighter, if you fight Martin Murray, would you feel confident to say I fought him with a 17-day notice, or I had a training camp? I mean, you could, you know what I mean? How
I
would you
think if
feel?
I think if you're taking a fight of that magnitude to give yourself the best possible chance, you need a full
Uh,
training camp. You need
uh,
sparring.
yes,
You
sir.
need proper training. You can't just throw yourself into the lions den on 17 days notice. And the fact that it went the full distance as well,
Yeah,
and you
yeah.
still gave a very good account of yourself. So there's definitely unfinished business with you, Roberto. I mean, are you fight ready at the minute?
I'm sorry.
Are you fight ready?
Oh, yeah, if I had to, but you know what I did? I'm gonna ask you a question. Check this shit out. I'm gonna give you a good one. My last fight, I've done. This is the biggest bullshit I ever did in my whole career. I took a big fight on the zone on 6 days notice. 6 days.
Wow.
So again, too, I was actually right there in my kitchen, right there. It was my anniversary when my wife was booking the room, the beach over here. We're gonna go celebrate my 12-year anniversary with my wife. She's booking the room. My phone text, ding. I check my phone. It's my manager. He goes, Roberto, we're fighting Liam Smith. I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm happy here. I'm eating tacos, man. I'm eating fucking tacos. I swear to God, I'm eating tacos and ice cream and shit. And then and I go, fucking badass, what's up, baby? Look, we got the way. He goes, I go, cool, when? He goes, December 20th. I'm like, wait a minute. Check the calendar, man. My wife checks the calendar. She goes, hey, that's 6 days.
Wow.
Wow, man. I go, so again, I'm here. Give me 1 second. Uh I'm here. I'm here in my home eating tacos. In 6 days, I'm on the zone fighting Liam Smith, and I cut over 15 pounds in 5 days. I remember
Robert,
what's his name, Eddie Hearn. We're
Roberto,
met at the day of the weigh-in. We're making weight together, and he's like, "Come on, Roberto, let's make weight together." I ran an hour and a half on the fucking treadmill, man, just to get some weight off, and I was under, bro. I was 155 and a half pounds, and he was 160. You know,
what
and
what made you
him too. That's another fight. I didn't have a camp for it.
Roberto,
No
what
sparring.
made you decide to take that fight on 6 days' notice? Because if you're putting yourself into the ring on 6 days' notice, you're giving your opponent a massive advantage. What was it? Why did you make that decision to fight Liam Smith on 6 days' notice?
Oh no, but that wasn't. That was just like a. It just happened, man. Like how you say it. That wasn't. They had tried because there was another fight Eddie Hearn had Saudi Arabia, and my manager was there with another fight he had some fighter, and he was talking to Eddie Hearn about making a fight with Liam Smith and Roberto Garcia, and they were kind of like with all this and that, the mumbles and all that shit. But they could. He told me they could have made that fight happen then, 3 weeks prior. That would have given me a massive advantage. But they said, nah, nah. So they picked somebody else, and they already had the other guy on the poster. The guy who was fighting, very low quality opponent. It was so low that they didn't even approve him 6 days before. And I know Eddie Hearn told him, look, man, he had just flown from London to fucking Phoenix. He was there a week before. They told him, look, bro, no one's gonna fight you on 6 days notice. The only guy's gonna fight you is Roberto Garcia. And then my manager called back. I'm chilling. I don't have no fight, whatever. I'm here just doing what I'm doing now, regular fucking day. And go, fuck yeah, I'll take it. Let's go. If that ain't proving you that you don't want it, man, I don't know what is. Because I don't know many guys that'll do things like that. And let alone, we went in there. Yeah, he beat me on paper. Yeah, he beat me. I mean, he didn't really beat me. He beat the 6 days notice guy, whatever. And even then, we had to fight at night. He won a decision, yeah, but he gave me all he got, and he was in great shape. I wasn't in great shape. You know what I'm saying? And he tried to knock me out and all this bullshit. I know he did. Sorry, man. Ain't gonna happen, bro.
I
And
think
we
the
were in there, and it was a good 10 rounds, man.
I think the biggest thing I'm taking from this interview today, Roberto, is you've definitely got the fire in your belly still. There's definitely
Yeah,
unfinished business. and there's definitely more to come from Roberto Garcia, without a doubt.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, I mean, just thinking out loud, man. I mean, how could you? You can't really. I mean, you can't really just. I told him, don't let those two losses fool you, man. I tell you know, 17 days, 6 days, two big fights. I mean, could he fight me on 6 days' notice if I was in shape? I don't think so. Could Martin Murray come to Texas on 17 days' notice and fight me in my town if I had a full camp? You know, things like that. Like they don't look at that. They just see the W and the L in boxing, and that's it. But the facts of it is, you can't really say it was a fair fight, man.
Yeah, this is the realness of the situation by the
Yeah,
sounds of
I'm
it.
honest. I'm very honest. Very honest. If you know if they really beat me and I was in shape, maybe I swear I'll tell you, bro. You know what? You did beat me. That's cool. I'll be honest. I'm cool with that. You know.
Roberto, how quickly do you want to get back in that ring and fight in terms of time frames?
Oh man, I want to be. Shit, I was hoping he'd be like October, man, but I don't know. You know the way it's looking right now. I spoke with Simon, and he's telling me also because in Europe they're doing all that. They don't let any Europeans to fly in the U.S. right now, and so it's kind of hard because they're always changing the rules with this COVID shit. I I mean I would like to. Our hope, we hope, all of us hope at least get one in before the year's over, like right before Christmas, for example. At least that, and then we open the year with a bang, hopefully. But at least to get one in just to finish the year. That's the plan we would love. Hopefully, God willing.
Brilliant. Roberto, it's been amazing getting to speak to you today. It's been a pleasure talking to you. Any final words at all?
No, man, just just I like it. This tough boxing. I like it's real. It's real. It's no sugar coated, man. I like that. That's what we need. This is what boxing needed, man. That's why I say tough boxing, the future of boxing. I really think this is real, man. This is what boxing needs to make it a sport again.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing you in action again. You've still got that hunger, you've still got that fire. You're an absolute warrior and a legend in the sport. It's been great talking to you today. And thanks for coming on to Tough Sports TV, Roberto, and we'll catch up soon.
All right, thank you, my man. Thank you for putting up for me while I driving and shit. All right, man.
Love you,
Nice
Roberto.
talking
Thank
to you,
you.
man. All right, bro.
Cheers,
Later.
Roberto. Bye bye.